Hello and welcome to Module 2, Lesson 3. And in this lesson, we're going to start filling out your editorial calendar. Woo! So I'm really excited about this one. I think this is game changing. If you don't already have an editorial calendar, this is going to make your life so much easier. And I can't tell you how much better you're going to feel once you have that calendar there, all mapped out and ready to go. So let's get started. First of all, I have an exercise for you. So in the last module, you sat and you jotted down and had a bit of a brainstorm about all the different niches that you could think of for your blog that related to the general theme of your blog. So for example, we chatted about if you had a food blog, you might niche down and just talk about vegetarian food or gluten-free food or healthy eating. Or whatever it may be. Well, in this exercise, we're going to go a step deeper. So hopefully by now you've got an idea of your niche that you're going to focus on. Now you're going to think about that niche and the different themes that fall within that niche that you can start to write about. Now, these themes need to be broad enough that they will give you topics for several blog posts. So I'm not getting you to actually think about specific blog post topics here, but more the high level theme that those blog posts will come from. So let's have a look at some examples. So I know we've got a couple of coaches in the group, so let's think about coaching and life coaching. So what might some of the themes be that as a life coach you might write about? You might want to write about things like goal setting. You might want to write about things like positive mindset. You might want to write something about facing your fears or dealing with change and so on. So you see each of those topics are really quite broad, and there could be many blog posts that could be then drawn from them on more kind of specific subject areas. Let's also have a look at the food blog example, because we also have a food blogger in the group. So for example, if you had chosen to go with the healthy eating option for your food blog, and that was your niche, the themes for that might be, again, vegetarian healthy eating, perhaps sweets and desserts healthy eating. You might perhaps have quick and easy healthy meals, and so on. And so if you see what I'm doing, I'm just getting gradually a little bit more specific, but still high enough level that there would be many blog posts that you can then pull from each of those themes. So hopefully you're clear on what I mean. Now what I want you to do is take 10 minutes, somewhere quiet, somewhere with no distractions, and have a brainstorm. Jot down all of the different high level themes that you can think of that will relate back to that niche that you came up with in Module 1. And one last thing to consider, make sure that those themes that you're coming up with still relate back to your ideal client. They should do, because if they relate to your niche, then by definition, if your niche relates to your ideal client, then these themes will too. But just keep that at the back of your mind, because it will help you stay on track and not sort of wander too far off. So go do that, hit pause, and I'll be here when you get back. Okay, how did that go? I hope you came up with a good number of nice chunky themes that you can write about on your blog. The next exercise, we're going to go down deep and we're going to come up with a whole bunch of blog post ideas. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to take each of those themes that you've just jotted down, and one at a time you're going to brainstorm as many ideas for blog posts on that theme as you can. Now say for example you've come up with 5 themes. If you can come up with, say, 10 blog post ideas for each theme, and that shouldn't be too much of a challenge, then you've got 50 blog post ideas there, like that. So go spend 10-20 minutes and really just jot down as many ideas as you can of things that you could write about for each of those themes, and see how many that you can come up with. Now, if you're struggling for ideas, don't panic, because there are a few little ways that you can go and give yourself a bit of inspiration. If you've seen any of my kind of blogging related content from last month, you may well have heard me talk about a website called answerthepublic.com. This is a great tool. It's completely free, and all you do is you go to answerthepublic.com, you take one of those themes that you've just written down in the last exercise, and you put that in the search bar. Hit go, and it will ping back all the questions relating to that theme that people are actually asking in search engines right now. What better way to know what people in your niche, your ideal readers, are wanting to know from you? So go and give that a try. That should give you dozens of ideas, if not hundreds. Another thing you can do is to just write your theme into Google and see what posts have already been written, because there is nothing wrong with writing a post on the same subject that someone else has already covered. Just give it your own spin, give it your own personality, your own flair. As long as you're not copying, then that's a great way to go and find what people have already written about. You can see what the reaction was to their post, how much interest did it get, how much engagement did it get. And you know, if you find a post that has loads of comments, loads of shares, loads of engagement, then you've probably hit a bit of a goldmine in terms of subject area, and that would be a great one for you to cover too. And then lastly, when you're having this brainstorm session, think about the questions that you're already getting, the questions that you're getting from your existing readers, your existing customers, or even your friends and family that relate back to your niche and to those themes that we've just chosen. So hopefully that gives you a huge amount of material to go and come up with as many blog post ideas as you can. So go, give it 15-20 minutes or so, really give it your all, and I shall see you when you're done. Okay, have you done? I hope it went well. I hope you've come up with a good number of blog post ideas. The final stage of this lesson is to go and map it out. You now know how often you're going to post. You know the key themes that you want to post about. Going back to lesson 1, you know the different revenue streams and roughly when you're going to be selling what if you have more than one revenue stream. So now with all that information, you can create your calendar, map out those posts that you know that you've got to publish, and then fill in with those subjects that you've just created. And there you have your editorial calendar ready to go, full of subjects that your ideal clients are dying to know about. So I hope you found that helpful. If you have any problems or questions, drop me an email or come and ask in our blogging class Facebook group. I encourage you to use the group if you don't particularly want it to be confidential or private, because that way it allows the other members of the course to benefit from the whole discussion, because it could be something that they were struggling with as well. But also do feel free to email me if you'd prefer it to be more of a one-on-one conversation. And if you manage to get your editorial calendar and you love it and you're excited about it, then come and share that too. I'd love to know how you're getting on and if this has been helpful. And I will see you in the next lesson.